is. Oh God! Oh, and he ate it. Oh, another bass. What's up, everybody? Derek here, and today we are down on the river, as you can see behind me, and today was a great day to come down here and talk about something that, oh, it's a high percentage, but it's got to be at least 70-80% of most fishermen that are creek fishing or river fishing are completely missing. Whether they're bank fishing, which a lot of times they have a higher percentage of hitting up these spots, but if they're kayak fishing, a lot of times they're not thinking about it and they're going right past the fish. So I'm gonna show you what I do to catch more fish on the river or on the creek or any current situation, so you can too. Let's get fishing. All right, guys, we're gonna start right over here, and as you see, I've got deeper water, pretty deep, and we got a lot of grass, but we got current, and it goes up real shallow right here. So I've got one of my favorite lures for fishing on the river to catch just about anything, so let's get to fishing. All right, I've got a lot of grass mats right here, but I don't really have very many openings. I got an opening in the grass right here, so we can toss right here. It's a little bit further downstream, and see if anything will hit right there just off the current. But you really kind of want to parallel the bank when you're fishing down through here, because a lot of those fish are going to be hiding in that grass, or if there's trees or brush or, you know, just whatever. Since this current is right over here and I got some bank to walk, I'm thinking about going around and fishing over there, but I've got this other side right over here as well, which goes out into here into some shallow stuff. So I'm thinking about fishing up that direction and then working my way around. Now, a lot of times, as you see it right here, the current is coming in and then it gets to deeper stuff. So if you're fishing these spots and you're in a kayak or a boat or anything else, you're gonna think about floating right through this stuff. And then once you get right here, then you might turn around, you might fish where the current is at, where it's going from the shallow to the deep, and that's where a lot of the fish will hang out sometimes. But there's also little eddies and little bitty drops and little cuts that are down through there that hold fish as well. So if you're bank fishing, a lot of times you got to walk through here anyways, so you're going to be hitting up these spots and you have a lot of higher percentage chance of fishing all of this. And out there, as you see, it's really deep. As you see those deep bluffs, there could be fish there, but there may not be as many fish, because those fish a lot of times are positioned where that current's coming in or going out, where it gets shallow. You got to figure it out, but a lot of guys go right over the fish and they spook those fish out, and then they fish it and they don't get one single bite. So what you want to do is put your kayak or boat or whatever at the top of what you're gonna go down, walk down, fish something like this if it's shallow enough to get to, and then go back and get your boat or kayak and then float down. All right, as you can see, it's pretty shallow out here. It's not a bunch of mud and other stuff, so I can actually walk out here, and it is like ankle deep right here, and then it just straight up drops off. So I'm gonna fish right where this drop off is. Oh God! And that's what I was talking about right there. If I went over that fish with a kayak, I would have spooked that fish, and he's just sitting right there. That's a good one too. Dang. Ooh, this is a pretty fish. Yeah, that's a good one. Right on that drop off. And if I would have went over, this dude would have took off. He might have went over there, he might have went out there, but he didn't, because I didn't spook him. Now you gotta watch out what's downstream of you. I'm in no current, current's over there. So if I was walking through that mud's going right to that fish. And it's pretty much almost like a boat going over the top. So you got to be aware of the mud that you stir up as well. Thanks, buddy. So as you see, that worked. That's basically what I do, and that's how I catch a lot more fish. And there's a lot of guys that are going to go right over there. I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people that miss out on these fish. Oh, I see a fish right there. There's a bass. Oh, and he ate it. He ate it. There's a whole pack of them. That was cool. See you, bud. Dang, that was cool. There's some fish right there. It's a good little spot. All right, it gets a little bit too deep right here, but I'm still gonna try to cast right out in that middle and see if there's any fish right there that might want to hit it, and then pull it up over because there's some grass sitting right. Yep, I got hung up in it. So if I was gonna fish it, I might have to go back down this side over here and then work my way down that so I can fish all that little area, because there's a good spot right there where that little eddy is. But you don't want to pass up these little spots either. A lot of fish will hang out in these spots. Not the super big ones a lot of times, but there's a little depression in there. It could be some, and no current. Those fish could be in there, or they could be sitting down underneath. That's where the bigger fish, if they were in here, would be sitting. So with this little bit of current right here, I'll toss right there. See if anything will hit it. I know there's got to be a couple fish down in there probably. Oh, one hit. Oh, yep. Not a monster, but it shows you that those fish are tucked back in there. So it could be a big one back in there, and then there also couldn't be. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's a panfish that time. This is basically a catch everything lure right here, so kind of shows you what those fish are. Oh, and he took my tail. Not cool. I'm gonna try this thing out just like a grub like that. Most beetle spins come like that anyway, so. Oh. Got one. What we get? Oh, little bass. That's cool. He was back there tucked up in that, right next to that log, looks like. Just a little guy. Little Guadalupe bass. Oh, another bass. See, that shows you right there. They're back in there. There's probably more than likely not a big one in there, but there is a lot of little ones, which are still fun to catch. Oh, another hit. If I can make a good cast, I might get one. Yep, I sure did. Right off where that current's going out. They're just stacked up right down in there. I mean, this right here is how you learn about fishing and where those fish are positioning, but the point of this whole video is just to show you guys how they're kind of hiding. And if you went right through here, ripping through here, seeing this current, and you're fishing all the slow stuff, you're gonna miss out on fish. Of course, that's not a big one, but it was still fun to catch. And, oh, it's gotta be a panfish, the way it hit. Uh-huh. Little red breast. That's cool. Or wait, no. Let's see, that's a, blah, 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 blah. Trying to think off the top of my head. Dang it, I don't catch a lot of these, but tell me in the comments, guys, what this one is. I'm trying to remember. It's got that little bit of off color on there, but goodness, it'll probably come to me here in about 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, and he came back. It's fun just like that. Well, we were catching them. I could probably just keep on catching them out of that little hole right there, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back over to the spot that I was talking about where I could go up and around. All right, guys, this is the spot where you would be looking at it and you would be wanting to come through here to go right on down. But I'm on a shallow spot. There's kind of a little island that's right here, and the current goes around to this other side over here. So it's definitely a spot where you could put your kayak or anything just right here and fish all of this, fish downstream where the current's at, and then what we've already fished. So let's see if we can catch some more. Well guys, I caught a couple of fish and I showed you a lot of spots that a lot of people really don't think about maybe when they're having fun out there trying to catch fish. It can be a lot of work going to the river or to the creek and, you know, paddling around, or if you've got a boat and you're trying to go up and down, and it's those little things that you kind of forget or think about. So I hope this little tip helped you. Stopping at a shallow place like this and being able to go downstream, fish the little drop-offs, the little pools or backwaters, which was where we caught all those little fish right over there, and you can catch a lot more and you don't spook all of them, because a lot of times the deeper pools on creeks and rivers, they'll have fish but they'll be really spread out. They won't be as stacked up. That current in rivers and creeks really attracts those fish, because a lot of times that's where those bait fish like to sit, out in that current, and they can just go and get a meal and come right back down, because they're really opportunistic in rivers and creeks. But I hope that helped you guys, and thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.